Hi there and welcome back to this tutorial for JM Deluxe Layer Slideshow from Joomla Man. Now in this part of the tutorial what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how to set up a new slideshow. So we've already got the demo content slideshow here which you can see sliding away. So what I'm going to do is I want to create this slide here. Now my recommendation to you guys is always design your slideshows in Photoshop or in some graphics program before you actually start trying to install them into your Joomla website. You need to get the design together. Once you've got the design together, you need to break down each individual element of the slideshow. So you've got your iPhone here, for example. We've got the iPhone screen, which is a separate layer. Then we've got the different layers for the different elements within the slideshow. Now once you've got these elements separated on your Photoshop file, you actually need to save them as individual files. So this is my install for JM Galleria here. So if I go into the images folder, Deluxe Slideshow, and it's the demo slide 1, you'll see here that I've already created these files for this tutorial. So if I just click the preview button here and show you, you can see that each element is its own individual image. So we've got the background image, the mobile icons, the iPhone screen, and the caption that goes onto the iPhone. So we've got all our images together and we're ready to start building the actual slideshow within the component. So I'm moving into the component now. So if again we're going into the back end of the website and we want to go to components, JM Deluxe Layer Slideshow. So for the first part of this we need to create a new slideshow. So straight away click the new button and we get to give the actual slideshow its title. So I'm going to call this tutorial slideshow. So we just give that there, and then if we save and close that there, we then go into the actual slideshow itself. So we've been redirected into the slideshow here, and you can start creating the slides and the actual different layers for the actual slideshow. But first of all I want to show you the global settings. So if we move over here and you'll see the global settings icon. If we click that there, we get the global settings for this individual slideshow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the basic settings in here just so I can get you guys up and running and show you how to create a nice slide for your website. So the delay, so I want to have a delay of 8,000 milliseconds between each slide within this slideshow. The full width slider, yes, I want it to be a full width slider. What height of the slideshow is this? So the way that we determine the height of the slideshow is really by the background image within the file that you've already designed and put together. So slide 1-BG is my background, and I can see here that the height of this is 524 pixels. So I'm going to set that to 524 pixels. Do we want the slideshow to be responsive? Yes, we do. Do we want it touch enabled so it'll work on mobile devices? Yes, we do. The background colour for the actual slideshow, I'm just going to set that to white. We don't need a background image. Pause on hover, yes, so this means when the user's mouse hovers over the slideshow, the slide will actually hang on the one that is actually displaying at the time. Navigation type, I'm going to turn this off because I don't want this for the type of slideshow that I'm going to create, but you can turn that on, just have a play with it. It just gives you different options for navigation. The navigation arrows, I want them centered vertically. The navigation style, I'm going to have them as round navigation buttons. And then again we want this to be centered, we want the align to be centered, and then these default settings here pretty much will be as you need them, but again you can play around with these as you start building your slideshows. So they are the basic settings for creating a slideshow. So if I click the save button now, so those settings are saved. So now you'll see over here in the header we have the button for a slideshow. So if we click that, we're now into the actual slideshow itself. So we've got the basic settings down. So we want to create the first slide. So by default you're on your first slide there, so we want to select a background image. So if we click the image icon here and then we navigate to the directory, we can see that here. So I'm in my images folder, demo slide 1, and we get the background image. So I just select that image, insert it, and you can see here in the preview window we have pardon me, we have our background image. So I'm going to click save at this point, and then what I'll do here is if we go to the front end of the website and we click the refresh button, you'll see that we still have the demo content from the original install of the component. Now what I want to do is show you how to change that. So we want to close the actual component, and then we want to go to extensions, module manager. So if we go there, and then we want to find our actual module. So here we are, Deluxe layer slideshow. So if I click into that module, and then what we do is we go to the options tab, and you'll see here now for the slider option, if we click that drop down, you'll see we have the option to choose the new slideshow that we've created, so tutorial slideshow. So if I select that, click save and close, and then if we go to the front end of the website, you'll see the background image that we've just added to our slideshow appears. So we've got that there, we're good to go now. We can start building the actual slideshow itself. So back into the back end of the website, and we go to components, Deluxe layer slideshow. So we're in here, so again we want to edit our tutorial slideshow, so just click the name, and we're back in here now. So you can see here that you've got a timeline here, so it's not 0 milliseconds up to 8,000 milliseconds. Now the 8,000 is what we set, if you remember, back in our global settings. So if you want the slide and the timeline to be a different transition time, you need to change that back in the default settings, but 8,000 milliseconds is a good time to use. So we've got that there. So slide transition, how do we want the background image to transition between each slide? So for this example, again, I'm just going to use fade. Slide slot amount, that's a default of 7, but what that is there, that setting allows you to change for these slot zoom, slot slide, slot fade. They just break the background image down into sections, and that would break it down into 7 sections. So again, you can play with those settings once you start building your slideshow. So slide speed, the default settings here are pretty good, so I'm going to leave that as it is. Slide link we don't need a target index, and we don't need a thumbnail at this point. So just run through things as I scroll down the page here. So we've got our background image in our preview editor. If we want to toggle the actual background image so we can see a grid, so we can start aligning our layers, we can do that by toggling here with the button. Also, we've got an option to snap to grid, so as you're placing the elements on the slideshow, you can turn that on and off. I'll give you an example of that as I'm building the slideshow. So if we scroll down again, you've got your enter preview. So if we actually click that button, you'll just see the background image fading because we've no actual layers on the slideshow. So we just exit that again now. Then we've got the timeline. So here, animated items. So this is where we create the layers for the actual slideshow. So at this point here, we need to click add new slide layer. So we've clicked that there. I'm going to give this slide layer a name. So I'm going to call this iPhone because this is the image. So I'm actually going to bring this image in now. So I've clicked that there. What speed do we want this to slide in at? So the default settings again are pretty standard, so we'll leave that there. When do we want it to slide in? So where do we want it to start? So the slideshow starts at 0 milliseconds. So this item, this layer on the slideshow will slide in at 500 milliseconds. So just after the slideshow has started. How do we want it to ease in? Do we want it to ease in and bounce? So these are the different animations. So I'm going to say here we can ease in and bounce. So ease in, bounce. Caption, we'll leave that as on, that's just a standard setting. And then the end, when do we want this item on the slideshow to actually exit the actual slide? So we don't want it to exit, we want it to last till the end, so I'm just going to change that to 8,000. So then the exit easing, I'm going to leave that as it is. Enter class, where do we want this layer to actually enter into the slideshow? So I'm going to say this long from bottom. So what long from bottom means is that it will actually bounce right up from it's hidden away, it'll bounce up and then it'll come onto the slideshow. So I'll leave that there. And then the exit class, we're going to leave that as it is for now, and we'll show you how to edit that after. And then the slide layer content, so what item do we actually want on that layer? So we've got text, so you can actually add text in here, which we'll add in a little while. And then you've also got add layer image. So this is the tab that I want. Or we've got add layer video, which we're not using at the moment. So add layer image, so click on that, and then we click the little icon here, and we're going to navigate to go and select our image. So we've got the iPhone image here. So if I click insert for that, then you'll actually see here now we've got the iPhone on the screen. So you can see the mouse change to the arrows. So if we just pick that up, we can move it around the screen where we want to. So I want to align this. So if we have a look at our image, you can just see this is where we want to align it. So if I move this over here and just position it into the slideshow, and then if we click the save button, So we've got that in position. We've already predefined the settings that we want for the layer, and we've chosen the actual image that we want on the layer. So if I've clicked the save button, if I go to the front end of the website and refresh that page, you'll see the iPhone jump in there into position with the animation that we chose. If I just show you a few basic settings here, so again I'm on the iPhone layer, so I've got the settings here. The speed, if I change this to 1000 and then just click the save button and then refresh the page, you'll see the iPhone comes in a lot slower and bounces back up and down. If I change that speed back to 200 and just click the save button and then refresh the home page, you'll actually see it coming a lot faster. So that's where you control the speed of this. So again, I'm going to change that actually to probably about 700. I think I'll put that at. So the start I'm happy with. The end, I don't want it to leave the actual slideshow, so I'm going to leave that there. Okay, so you can see what I've got here is I've got the phone in position now. I've got my settings that I'm happy with, and I've got the image placed on. I need to create my next layer now. So if I just click on the actual bar for the layer, and you can see that it closes that there, and I'm going to click to add new layer slide. So I click on there again, we've got the next layer, so click on, just going to change the name here, and I'm going to change this to iPhone screen. Oops, let's change that there. So we've got the iPhone screen. What speed do I want this to come in again? So I'm going to change this to 1000, and we want this to come in slightly later than the iPhone, so we're going to set this to, I think, about 1200, and then again we want to set that to 8000 because we don't want that to change. So I'm going to leave the enter easing and exit easing as it is. So where do we want this to come? So I actually just want this to fade in, so I'm just going to choose the fading option, and then I'm going to get the layer image. So add layer image, click on that there. Again, navigate to our images folder, select the image, click the insert button, and you can see now I've got the iPhone screen on there, so I'm just going to position that in. Just to show you what I meant here by snap to grid, if you don't want to snap your actual image to the grid, turn that off. If you want it, you can see the image will jump between the grid positions when we toggle that on and off. So I prefer working with that off, but again, it's just an option that we've put in there. So I'm just going to position this for you. So we've got the iPhone screen in there now. So if I click save again, and we go to the front end of the website, just refresh that slide. Oh, 1 second there. I know what I've done there is we've actually got the iPhone screen is behind there, so we actually need to put the iPhone screen above the iPhone because it does work with the layer order, because you can see here change layer order. So if I just click that save button and then refresh that, you can see the iPhone screen comes in there. So we've got the iPhone screen in position, we've got the iPhone in position. So the next layer, what should I go for here next? I think I'll go for this text next. So again, we go down here and we want to create a new layer. So we create the layer, so we'll call this heading. So we've got that there. Animation speed, again I'm going to set that at 1000. We want that to come in, I'm going to say at about 800, because no, about 1000, because we want that to come in at a similar time. So then I'm going to check that to 8000, leave the easings here, and then where do we want this to appear from? So I'm going to say that we want this to come along from the right. So this is going to zoom in from the right, and the exit class we can leave. So here we get the layer text. So what text? So in this text layer here now, so custom HTML. So basically we just need to get the text. So what I'm going to do here is just copy this text from here, put that in there, and what we need to do is if you look at the actual slideshow, you can see the text appearing here. So custom styles, so we've got some preset styles here. So if I select large white text left, so that's large white text which is aligned left. If I select that, you'll see the text here has changed to the text that we need. So I'm just going to put that there, but you can see there's no break. I need to put the word slideshow heading on a separate line. So I need to go down here, and we just need to put a HTML break in there, and then you can see this has put it onto another line for us. So you can see the slideshow gradually building itself here. So we've got that in position, the position of the text. I'm actually going to push it right to the edge here so it's bang in position. So the next layer that we need, so that's that layer done. So again, we need to probably push that to the top, just so it's the top layer, and then we're going to create a new layer. So if I click that, and then we'll call this subheading. So again, we shall set that up 1000. Start, I'm gonna, again, this starting and ending, it is guesswork as you're building your slideshow. Once you've got all the elements on your slideshow, you can start refining the actual animation. So I'm going to set that to 1800, and then we'll just change the end to 8000. So that's there, and then where do we want this to animate from? Well, I'm going to say along from the bottom for this one. And again, text layer. So what text do we want on there? So again, I'm just going to go to my Photoshop file here. Oops. And get hold of this text, copy that over, so we've got our text, and then again you can see it building the text here. So we just want to select the custom style, so we just want small white text left, and you can see that's here. So we've got the text, but again that text is slightly too big from the presets that we've built in there for you. So all we need to do to change the size of that text is go to the subheading layer and just find the CSS for that font size. So if we set that to maybe 18, and you can see the text has changed size, so I'm just going to go down to 16 point for that. And then also we've got letter spacing on there, which I'm going to set to 0. So you can see here now we've got our letter text, so I just need to break the line at the word natus. So again in here and just add the break, and you can see it's broke the line there. So we're nearly there now. The last element is the mobile icons. So if I close that there and just click add to add new layer, so again there we've got, so if I just call this mobile icons, oops. So we've got that there. Again, how do we want to animate these? What speed do they want these to come in? Start, I want to set them at 2000, and then we don't want this to end till the end. And then where do we want this to come from? So I think I'll do this long from the right again, long from the right. And then this is an image, so add layer image. Go and navigate to our images folder, demo slide 1, and then these are the mobile icons, insert there. So we've got that there, so you can see this is here now. So if we just position the actual icons as on the slideshow, so we've got that, just click the save button. And then I'm just going to go on, I mean we can test, I mean, you know, I keep going to the front end and testing it, it's just my way of working, but you can actually click the enter preview here and it will show you how things are going to animate in there. So you know, either way that you want to work, but I just prefer creating this and building it from the front end, because you get more of a representation of how it's going to look for your customers. So we've got everything that we need on that slideshow apart from the caption there. So I just need to go back into here, and we need to create a new layer, and we'll call this iPhone caption. So what speed do we want this to navigate in? And this could be, we'll do that at 1000 again. Start, I think I'm going to make that about 2000 again. The end we'll leave at 8000. And then we'll leave that there, and then this one I'm actually going to go short from top. Short from top means that it doesn't come from outside the slideshow area, it means it will actually just drop in from here, so it's within the slideshow and just animates to the position that we put it in. So we've got the iPhone capture, so we've got all our settings there. Click the add layer image, and then there we go, just go and navigate to the image, which is here, and select that. And then here we go, we've got the icon here, but you can see it's behind the actual iPhone, so we actually need to move the layer up, or again you could use the layer order options, and you can see now that layer is now on top of our iPhone. So I'll just get that into position, just click the save button, and again if we can enter preview here, so we can see the items navigate in. You saw the actual, I'll just play that again and we'll go through. Just watch for the iPhone caption here, you'll see it drop in just from here, so it's coming straight into position. So that is the first slide built of our slide. You can see how quick and easy that is. So again, I'm just going to click save, go to the front end of the website, and there you go, we have a beautiful slideshow ready for your customers and ready for your website. In the next tutorial I'll just show you quickly how to create new slides, so you've got more than one slide in your slideshow, and just quickly run through that. So once again, thanks again for watching this tutorial. Any questions, please give us an email at support@joomlaman.com, or log into our forum and use the support tickets. Thank you very much.